Hey, guess what's happening on this week's episode of the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with your friend and host, Oscar Camejo.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you find it so difficult to stick to your commitment to eating healthy, exercising, and losing weight? You're not even seeing any results, or maybe not seeing the results you want to in enough time. Things are going really slow. Perhaps you've been on this roller coaster ride for years, months, weeks, and days, and nothing seems to be working. You're still gaining weight. I mean, lots of weight. And maybe you hit this plateau. Or maybe you're just losing weight, but it's not as much and not as quick as you had hoped it would be by now. You see, your health journey may seem to be sputtering along, and you're tired. You're tired of starting from scratch again, only to get sidetracked somewhere along the way. We've all been there, folks. You could be at this point of quitting because no matter what diet you started, no matter what exercise program you've paid for, again, it seems like nothing is working. The gym workouts aren't working. The exercising outdoors isn't working. How many times are you going to run around the track, right? And run through your neighborhood? Things are just not working. They're just not clicking. You may have made some small changes and seen some small results, but you haven't had any tangible results that you're happy with. And you're on the brink of stopping. Well, let me tell you something, folks. I've been there. I've been in that situation where it just seems like, man, nothing is working. Things are going too slow. So that's why in this episode, you're going to learn some simple ways to improve your overall health. Hey, we're going to take a step back and see why you may not be losing weight the way that you want to or need to, and why you're not getting lasting results. You're also going to receive some practical recommendations for developing lifelong good habits. I'm going to help you to develop self-motivation because sometimes, folks, we quit before reaching our goals. So stick around to hear the rest of today's episode, my friend. You definitely don't want to miss it. Let's go. Be sure to visit the website at www.beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com for access to free resources and other information that will help you along your journey. If you would like to submit a question or a comment about the show or to learn more about the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle, you can always email me at hello@beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this podcast. Welcome to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with me, your host, Oscar Camejo, helping diabetics make lifestyle changes to reverse type 2 diabetes. Listen, even if you're not a diabetic, maybe you have been concerned that one day you're going to develop type 2 diabetes because maybe you've heard that it runs in your family and you don't want that to be your case. Well, this is the podcast episode for you, folks. In today's episode, let's dive right into why you may not be losing weight or enough weight and not achieving the lasting results you had hoped for. You know what? A friend texted me the other day to give me a report on their health. You know, we had been talking recently about how they've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and they've been working really hard to lose weight and reverse the condition. You know, we had been discussing the struggles that they were having with overhauling their health and lifestyle, from their food choices to cooking to eating out, and the lack of desire to really exercise and so forth. Well, they text me to say the other day that they lost 12 pounds, that they only lost 12 pounds so far. And it seems like the process is going way too slowly for them. You know, folks, I get this often. You know, I meet people, whether it's at the gym or even friends that I know that say, hey, Oscar, I'm inspired by what I see you doing. But you know what? For me, it's just like I'm on this roller coaster and things are just going way too slow. I've only lost X amount of pounds and things just seem not to be working. So with this friend, I wrote back and basically I didn't chew them out, but I was like, hey, listen, you lost 12 pounds. Yes, it may not be 30 pounds. It may not be 40 pounds. And yes, it may seem like it's really slow, but you actually lost 12 pounds. That's something to celebrate. That's a victory to celebrate because listen, you're 12 pounds lighter. And yeah, you're making changes. And no, things are not going to just turn around overnight. It may seem like weeks have been going by and you're making these changes. And I get it. Folks, if you're like my friend, they are struggling. They're like, man, I just want to get this weight off of me. I want to get off these meds. I just want to just feel better. And you know what? Hey, listen, we didn't gain the weight overnight, folks. It took weeks and months for us to put on the pounds and even years to develop certain conditions like type 2 diabetes. So it's unrealistic to believe that you're just going to automatically, have this healthy lifestyle because you've been at this thing for a month. So I don't want you to discount and discredit the progress that you have made. Now, you may say, well, hey, Oscar, yeah, that's great. Your friend lost 12 pounds. I've only lost 5 pounds and I've been at it for a month. Okay, folks, listen. There could be all kinds of reasons why your progress is going way too slow. We can go into, okay, how often are you staying on top of your regimen, whether it's eating, whether it's exercising. And of course, in some situations, there's some people dealing with other health conditions. There may be even some medications that you're taking that are causing you to gain weight. That's something that you need to talk to your physician about. I mean, I had to have a conversation with my physician because I noticed some things were just going on in my body. And it turns out that it was the medication. So we had to make some changes a couple years ago. And when those changes were made, I started feeling better. But it got to the point where my body just started healing itself. My body was getting better to where I no longer needed medication. And then my physician eventually took me off high blood pressure medications, diabetes medication, cholesterol meds, and so forth, because I no longer needed it. Yes, I was losing weight slowly, but I was losing weight. So in your situation, folks, I don't want you to give up, cave in, and quit because you've only lost 5 pounds, because you've only lost 12 pounds, because you've only lost 20 pounds. Come on, folks, you can do it. So I know it's a struggle, but that doesn't mean that, okay, well, it's time to just throw in the towel because I haven't seen these great results. Listen, folks, it's going to take hard work. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take persistence for you to see lasting results. And I know people around you are looking fit and healthy. We have this fitness culture now where you can't go anywhere without seeing these physically fit people all the time. You see them on social media. They just look so great. And you keep looking at yourself and you get depressed because you're comparing your results with someone else's results. I need you to stop that. Okay. Some time ago, there was a woman in her 60s at the gym. She stopped me to comment about my workouts. She said something to the effect like, wow, you're always here working out and I see the results. I wish I had that discipline. I wish I had that consistency. This happens all the time. And almost every day when I go to the gym, somebody stops me and comments about my workout regimen. Folks, my workout is not anything unique. It's not anything that's extraordinary. It's just I'm there every day at the gym because I've chosen to be active. I've chosen to do high intensity workouts. I run quite often because I can. Because I remember there was a time where I couldn't get through a 20-minute workout session in the gym. I remember it was hard for me to walk because my knees were always in pain. My back was hurting all the time, but I made up in my mind that I was going to be consistent and I would go every day. Now, every day, when I say I go to the gym every day, let me be clear. I'm not in the gym 7 days a week. I'm in the gym according to my system and my process every day, right? My system is I go to the gym Monday through Friday. So for me, every day is Monday through Friday. I go to the gym, whether I'm only stretching one day here or there, doing weight training another day, doing some conditioning work another day. I've made up in my mind that my routine, my daily system and regimen will include going to the gym. Now, on the weekends like Saturday and Sunday, I may go hiking. I go trail running. I like the outdoors, and I usually leave that for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, or either or. But that's my system because I want to promote a healthy lifestyle for myself and for those who follow and keep up with me through the podcast, TikTok, social media, and so forth. So, like the woman who stopped me and at the gym and said, "Hey, I see you're always here working out. I wish I had your discipline." Listen, I don't want anybody to have my discipline. I want you to develop your own discipline, something that you can stick to and see lasting results. Because folks, I remember there was a time when no one noticed me at the gym, let alone spoke to me. I mean, I was overweight. I was 268 pounds, and I was struggling to get through a simple total body conditioning routine. I remember my first day in the gym. Heck, I remember my first week. It was in June 2021. I have the pictures to prove it. I have the actual workouts that I did that week. I have all those stats. And I remember it was brutal, not because the workout routines were tough. It's just that I was out of shape. I was dealing with type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and I was on meds like I mentioned earlier. Basically, I was dealing with what's called metabolic syndrome, right? A whole bunch of stuff was going on in my body. My decision to turn my health and lifestyle around actually started before June 2021. When I had come home from the doctor back in August 2020, I knew I needed to make some changes. It was a slow process. I had to change my mindset. I wasn't all excited about going to the gym. I wasn't all excited about eating salads and eating healthy because, my habits up until that point was just eat a bunch of junk food and have bread, rice, potatoes, and pasta all the time. I was just out of shape. I had poor eating habits, and I was dealing with this disease, type 2 diabetes. But I remember when I decided to set foot in the gym, that first day, that first week was just tough because, yes, everything hurt. My back hurt, my knees hurt. My heart felt like it was going to explode in my chest because I was not in shape, folks, but I knew, hey, Oscar, you got to keep moving. You got to keep coming to the gym. You got to keep eating right. You can't give up and cave in and quit. You have to start eating proper foods, healthy foods, real foods, and start slowly winning yourself off of the not so good stuff. So that just so happens to be the time when I decided that, hey, you know what? I'm going to make this journey of beating diabetes a serious thing. I am going to take my health serious enough to go ahead and get things going. So again, today, folks, I am off all meds, straight up. I have reversed type 2 diabetes. It's in remission. I no longer have to take diabetes medication. And that's been a while now since I've been able to reverse it. I work out regularly because I choose to. And I love it. My body's seeing the results from it. I didn't hire a personal trainer. I didn't sign up for these expensive weight loss programs. I didn't throw a whole bunch of money at these quick weight loss programs and all these other things. And I'm not telling you guys not to. I'm just telling you, listen, you can turn your health around. If I can do it in a cost-effective way, you can too. I would put my money more towards my gym membership so I can, get in there regularly whenever I needed to. I put money towards my nutrition. I put money towards even getting better workout gear, which I know for me, I needed stuff that was more functional, from my shoes to my shorts and my workout tops, everything. For me, it was a whole lifestyle overhaul. And it didn't happen overnight. So it's not going to happen overnight for you. You have to change your mindset. You also have to change your environment. What does your environment look like? Does your lifestyle make it conducive for you to be healthy? Look around your house. Does it look like, you have what you need to live a healthy lifestyle? Are there a bunch of chips and soda around, cookies, cakes, and popcorns and a lot of the things that you're struggling with, is that around your house? Or do you have healthy snacks around your house? Do you have fruits like apples and bananas and so forth that are in your line of sight every day? What about your gym bag? Do you have a gym bag? Do you have a bag that's dedicated to your exercises? And I'm not saying that you have to go to the gym. It's just, the gym is a common thing that a lot of people turn to. But let's say you don't like the gym. You don't like being around a bunch of people. Still, do you have a workout or exercise bag that's dedicated to your exercise and healthy lifestyle? If you don't, folks, go out and buy you one. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. Go out and get you something that hey, I have my resistance bands in there. I have some small weights in there. I have a place where I can put my supplements. I have whatever I need, my extra pair of gym clothes. And that's another thing, folks. I got so serious about turning my health around that I wanted to eliminate excuses. I would have if I were you, I would have a second bag, a backup bag that I just keep in my vehicle, that I keep in my car. For those of you all who commute by car, I know if you commute by train or bus or whatnot, it's something different for you, right? But even at your job, if you like going to exercise after your job or during lunch, I would keep a backup bag, that has my sneakers, my socks, my workout undergarments, shorts, and a top. That's all you need, right? Keep a backup so you have no excuses. I can't tell you the number of times I've gotten to the gym and I'm like, oh man, I left my shoes at home. And I was like, you know what? Never again. So I keep at least 1 to 2 pair of gym shoes in my car. I have a backup bag that I keep in my car. So my point is, folks, if you want to achieve lasting results and you've decided, hey, one of the ways that I'm going to achieve lasting results is through my regular exercise, well, what I need you to do is create a system, create an opportunity for you to make it easier for you to choose better. Too many times we have excuses, like, oh man, I don't have my gym shirt, so I'm not going to go work out. Come on, that should never be an excuse. That should never be a reason why you don't work out. I know life happens. Some of you all who are single parents and you have to take care of your kids, and it's like finding time to go work out it's not there for you. But okay, what about your eating, your nutrition? Again, you can always take inventory of your life and what's around you. What are you cooking? What are you eating? If you're eating out on a regular basis, where are you going and stopping on a regular basis? In the morning, in the afternoons, and at night, where are you eating? And I know some people may have some financial constraints that limit you to certain things. But listen, we're talking about your health right now. And no matter where you are in your budget, you can find some alternative options that are healthy that could help you to stay within your budget. You just have to make up your mind that no more excuses. I'm going to do what I need to do to turn my life around. Listen, folks, I created a system and I was able to achieve results. And I trusted God in the process. My faith has helped me to keep going in those times where it just seemed dark and I was stressed out and just dealing with just some emotional things. I'm like, you know what? I got to keep going. I have to believe that my faith walk is going to help me to keep walking and see the end results that I'm pushing for. So I'm happy, folks, that I've been able to turn my life around. And I believe you can too. You just have to start. I don't know how long you've been on your journey, and this is a good time to reset. And I'm not talking about just because it's New Year's, right? Or it's getting closer to New Year's. I'm talking that, hey, this is a lifestyle that you're going to maintain beyond the new year. Because you know what? We all want to have lasting results. We don't want to lose weight to put it back on, folks. Come on, at least not unhealthy weight. As you're going to be working out, you're going to be building muscle. And yeah, you may see some weight gain, but not because of fat gain, but it's more so muscle gain. And I'm not talking about bodybuilding and so forth, but we can talk about that in another episode. Okay, folks, I want to share something with you. I did a few moments ago mention about New Year's and New Year's resolutions. I know it's so common for people to, go gung ho and say, hey, it's the new year. It's a new me. I'm going to have a new body. I'm going to do all these different things. And that's great. But again, I'm talking about a lifestyle beyond the New Year's. Yeah, but here's some common New Year's resolutions that some people make. They say, okay, I want to live healthier. I want to lose weight. I want to make personal improvements. I want to find love and happiness and get married. I want to save money. I want to save $10,000. I want to pay off debt and so forth. So, but here's the thing. There are all kinds of reasons why some people don't see lasting results when it comes to either of these things that I've mentioned in terms of their New Year's resolution. A lot of times it's because they've set unrealistic goals, right? They say, okay, yeah, I want to lose weight, but I want to lose 100 pounds, within the first quarter. And again, is that realistic if you don't make actual changes to how you eat and how you move and your exercise and so forth? Some people focus on goals rather than have a system for achieving results. And if there's nothing else that you can take away from today's episode, is the word system. That's what I want you to take away. If nothing else, it's the word system. It's the same word, if you will, as routine. I want you to develop consistency by developing a system, by developing a routine. And a good way to do that, folks, is maintaining good habits and developing good habits. Because you see, when you maintain poor habits and you maintain poor habits that are really contributing to poor health, you're not going to see lasting results, plain and simple. Another thing is people lack patience. They literally lack patience. I've been there. So James Clear, he once wrote, "Mastery requires patience." James Clear is a gentleman who wrote a book called Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. I recommend that you get that book. There's an audio version of it. I have both the audio and the printed version of the book. I mean, it's a powerful, powerful publication that I think you guys would really like and get a lot out of, especially if you've been struggling with bad habits and how to break bad habits, not just with food and other nutrition related habits, but we're talking about all kinds of bad habits from smoking to just other things. If you really want to learn how to break bad habits and develop good ones, I definitely recommend James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. All right, let's move on. Now, you may say, okay, Oscar, I hear what you're saying. Now, give me some answers. I want a solution. How do I make this a reality in my life? Well, for me, what helped was tracking my progress, because the more and more I started seeing in writing or digitally my progress, the more it motivated me to keep going. Because I'm like, okay, I lost 5 pounds. Well, if I can lose 5 pounds, I can lose 10 pounds. If I can lose 10 pounds, I can lose 15 pounds. And so that just became like this challenge that I would make for myself. Like, hey, if I can do this and see small results, well, I'm going to keep at it and see where this takes me. So I get regular notifications on my watch. I actually wear 2 watches, and I'll explain why in a second. I have an Apple Watch and I have a Garmin watch. And both of my watches track my workout activities, my health, stress levels, my heart rate. Helps me to know the impact of my workouts on my health. It lets me know. One watch actually tells me, hey, you're overworking, slow down a little bit, take a rest day, allow your body to recover so you can avoid injury and avoid catching colds and so forth. So I listen to that app and to that watch, and I pay attention to how I'm sleeping and so forth. And believe it or not, with these notifications that I get, it lets me know, hey, your workout results are ready. You're on target, you're above target, you're below target, and so forth. Now, when I first started my health regimen, I did not have two watches. Let me make that clear. And I'm not saying you have to have two watches. This is just Oscar, and I will explain, I promise you, why I have two watches. But I started off with the Apple Watch, and it wasn't an expensive Apple Watch. It was the Apple Watch SE, and I needed something that was basic, that I can track my workouts in the gym, or if I'm outside hiking or walking or running, I needed something that was going to help me to keep up with what was going on. So the Apple Watch till this day has been a game changer for me. I remember the day that I got my Apple Watch, I was so excited, and I've been excited. I mean, I can control my workout routine, pause, check out my progress, restart. I could do everything I need to do on my Apple Watch. And I was able to eventually upgrade to the Apple Watch Ultra because I do a lot of running and so forth, and other activities that I just needed something that was a little bit more robust and durable than the Apple Watch SE that I had. So now here's the reason why I wear two watches now. Earlier this year, let's say about 6 months ago, I started running outside. And I was like, man, I want to do more running, because I remember just running was a very difficult thing for me. And I do a lot of hiking, but I was like, you know what? I don't do a lot of running. So about 6-7 months ago from the time of this podcast, I just started running. And I started enjoying running. So still using my Apple Watch SE at the time. This is before I got the Apple Watch Ultra. I would just be running, man. And it just felt good. I was tracking my runs. I was seeing how far I can go. And I was just feeling a lot better. And I just kept challenging myself. And then I got introduced to the world of races and running races. And man, it's been a phenomenal thing. And I've joined several running clubs, and I'm able to just maintain this healthy lifestyle with running. I still go to the gym. I still eat healthy foods and so forth. And now I wear a Garmin watch because Garmin is one of those companies or brands that are known for producing watches that help you to track your running and your exercise. The navigation using maps and GPS locking is just awesome. And so I wear two watches now so I can track my progress. Yes, I hit both watches, or I start both watches when I run, because I want to compare the two and see how my progress is coming along. And I'm telling you, folks, I'm a data person, and I just like to see where I am. Now, with you, again, if you want to get into running, you don't have to get a Garmin watch. You can stick with an Apple Watch, or you may say, hey, I want to switch from Apple to Garmin. It's up to you. The bottom line is, I want you to pay attention to what's happening with your exercise. And sometimes we need help with tools to help us to get to where we need to be in terms of our goals and reaching our goals and even going beyond our goals. I've been noticing that with my Garmin watch, it tells me, and the Apple Watch also, it tells me my heart rate. It tells me my pace and my speed. It tells me if I'm above target or below target. And I'm noticing that, man, at mile 1, I'm feeling pretty good, or I'm not feeling good. Maybe I'm going too fast, or I'm feeling really good. I can pick up the pace a little bit. So all these metrics are being fed to me, and I'm hearing the app talk to me. These apps talk to me while I'm running. I'm noticing that I can go further more often than not. I remember running a mile was very difficult. Running a quarter mile was very difficult. And then it got to the point where, as I was doing more exercising in the gym and losing the weight and feeling a lot better, I just felt like, man, I had more energy to go further, faster. My endurance was building up. And now I'm getting into ultra running and trail running. I mean, it's a whole world that has opened up for me. So the reason why I'm saying all that, I'm not saying you need to get into trail running. I'm not saying you need to wear two watches. I'm not saying that you have to wear any wearable, if you will. But if you do want to track your results so that you can build on where you started from and track where you're going, these tools just make it a lot easier. Okay. So here's the thing. Again, I mentioned about James Clear and what he said about when you have a lack of patience. He says mastery requires patience. Patience is tied to the word consistency. It's tied to the word system and tied to the word routine. You see, I want you to forget about your goals for a second. I want you to focus on following a system instead. So I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals. I think we all should have goals. But imagine getting to the place in your life where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to pay attention to the scale today or for a week or for a month. I simply want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to lose weight and keep it off. Yes. Sometimes it's going to require us not paying attention to the numbers on the scale because, you know, if you're at that point where 3 pounds loss is just more discouraging for you, then stop focusing on the scale. What I do want you to do is not abandon your goals of weight loss or losing a specific weight, but to develop a system. Because let me ask you a question. When you lose 50 pounds or 30 pounds, then what? Matter of fact, what does you weighing 50 pounds less right now look like? Do you even know what that actually looks like? When I lost over 80 pounds, I never set out to lose 84 pounds. That wasn't my goal. I remember the only goal I did have at one point was I wanted to lose 30 pounds because I wanted to drop 30 pounds by my 30th high school reunion. You know, that was the only physical number or actual number that I had set. But let me ask you a question. Again, when you lose your 30 pounds goal, when you reach your 30 pound goal, right? When you reach your 50 pound weight loss goal, then what? You know, let's be honest. People can lose weight without eating healthy, without having a system. They truly can. They can go and have surgery, or they can starve themselves and not put anything in their body and say, you know, I'm not going to eat for a whole week. I'm only going to drink water. I'm going to go on a 40-day fast and only drink water and only eat spinach or something like that. Is that smart? No, that's not sustainable. The system that I'm talking about allows you to enjoy food. It allows you to eat the foods you like, but have healthier options. Yes, I would rather you get rid of the rice, the bread, the pastas, and the potatoes for a while. But that doesn't mean to starve yourself. That means just choosing healthier options. Yeah, I want you to get rid of your sodas and your candies and your chips and the cookies and the carrot cakes and, you know, stuff that we all, you know, have come to enjoy, but we really don't need in our bodies. So I want you to have your goals, but I want you to have smart goals. And the only way to achieve lasting results is to get better every day. You know, winners and losers in sports, for example, have the same goals. Everybody wants to win, but only one team will win a football game or a soccer game or a volleyball game or a baseball game. Track and field, you're running the 100. Only one person is going to win. So the difference between those who win and those who don't, literally it's who crosses the finish line. And a lot of times, you know, you're dealing with speed or you're dealing with the number of points. But the point is, I want you to develop a system, just like the team aspect, just like the athlete mindset. It's like, hey, I have to have a routine. I have to execute the plans and the system to win, and I'm going to give it my best. So you're not competing against anybody, though, except for one person, and that's yourself, the old person, the person that's looking at you in the mirror, the person that's telling you that, hey, you know what, you might as well give up, cave in, and quit. You can only do 1 mile. So why push yourself? You know, your heart starts to hurt. Your legs start to hurt. Your ankles and knees start to hurt. So don't run. Just walk a mile. Pace yourself. Oh, be moderate. Take everything in moderation. You know you don't like working out, so don't really try to push yourself. That's that negative self-talk. Folks, that was me at one point. I would look in the mirror and I would see this fat person and I would feel down about how I looked. And I would say, man, you're a big fat walrus. I used to call myself and think of myself as this walrus, folks. And I can't tell you how it sucked talking to myself like that. Because I've always been a positive person. I've said this before in previous podcasts. My blood type is O positive. I literally have positivity running through my vein. I can't stand being around negative people. People are very pessimistic and they have a very pessimistic outlook. And that doesn't mean I don't interact with folks like that. You have to. But what I'm saying is I don't want to adopt that negative mindset. So when I was looking in the mirror, just like many of you, when you look in the mirror, there's that negative self-talk. There's that person that you have to compete against every day. That's the person that says, hey, you know what? You're too tired today. Don't go to the gym. I know you heard that podcast guy was talking about developing a system, but hey, you got to be smart. You don't feel like going to the gym. So just take a rest day today. I know you didn't go to the gym. I know we didn't go to the gym yesterday, but hey, it's okay. You don't feel like going today, so don't go. Just sit down, put on your favorite television show, eat your favorite snacks today. You're going to do better tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Folks, when you're working on achieving lasting results, you're going to have to look at that person in the mirror and say, no, we're going to do better today. No, we're not going to sit in front of the television this week and every night watching TV and eating the snacks. Matter of fact, we're getting rid of the snacks right now. We're throwing all of this junk out right now. I don't care what you say. No, but we like the snacks. No, but we're getting rid of the snacks. You have this war within, and sometimes it's going to take that fight mentality to fight against that negative talk, that negative self-talk. Because again, you're a winner. You're not a loser. You may have been used to losing this battle when it comes to your health. And it's like, man, you know what? I've had type 2 diabetes for a minute. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it. No, you can do something about it. Listen, I was 268 pounds, folks. And I had that same mentality. I was struggling, but I was able to lose over 80 pounds in less than a year by doing exactly what I'm telling you to do. So who am I, right? I'm just a guy that was able to achieve the results without all the gimmicky stuff. My dad taught me, he was like, hey, son, beware of gimmicks. Don't ever fall for gimmicks. Don't ever fall for schemes. So I'm telling you all to do the same thing. Okay? So I want you to follow a daily and weekly health routine. I'm not going to tell you exactly what you need to do because there's something valuable about you putting in the work to find out what works for you. Now, for me, I'm going to go over my weekly routine and daily routines real quick so you can know. Every morning, I do flexibility and mobility exercises, usually 5 to 7 minutes. That's Monday through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday included, right? Every day, do something where I'm working on my mobility and flexibility because I got tired of waking up feeling pains, feeling aches, and being stiff and so forth. I don't wake up stiff anymore, folks, because I've trained my body to be more flexible. That doesn't mean I'm doing this perfect split. I don't even try splits anymore. I just work on my hip mobility. I work on my ankles, my knees, my neck, and so forth, my waist. For breakfast, I do a breakfast smoothie that I make here at home. I eat a light breakfast, sometimes with 2 boiled eggs, and sometimes I'll use these beef sausages that have no nitrates. They're organic and so forth, but I don't eat a lot of that. I don't eat it every morning. But literally, I'm not eating a big breakfast. I don't have bread. I don't do the cereals. I don't do any high sugary foods like I used to, like the donuts and the pastries in the morning. I just stopped doing that because, I don't want to impact my body with the blood sugar spike way early in the morning. You don't want to do that. Definitely not with pastries and breads and stuff like that. Man, it used to be crazy. I used to get like a sausage, egg, and cheese. Oh no, it was a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant or biscuit, or sometimes a bagel every morning. And no wonder why I gained so much weight. So my point is, I start my day off with something healthy. For you, it may be an omelet with just eggs, some cut up peppers, red peppers, green peppers, some onions, spinach, and you are good to go. Some of you all who don't like breakfast, you may want to do a smoothie and add protein powder in it. I do that every morning because I don't want to have anything heavy. Now, I'll be honest, there's some times on the weekends, for brunch, when I go out, let's say Sunday after church or whatnot, I love French toast. And yes, I said it. I love French toast. And yes, French toast is made with bread, folks. I love French toast. I love bacon and I love eggs. So that's my staple breakfast that I may have every once in a while on a Sunday for brunch, right? But guess what? When I was on my weight loss journey, I decided that, hey, I wasn't going to have any of that. So there was a time where I didn't have the French toast and the bacon and stuff like that. So, that's just me. I'm not telling you to have French toast every day. Definitely not. My mid-morning snacks now, I usually have like a whole fruit, like either an orange, a kiwi. I like green apples, and I have mixed nuts. The mixed nuts are for, they're a healthy form of fats. For lunch, I always have like a hearty lunch, a big salad with a protein, whether it's tuna or chicken, or sometimes I don't have any protein on the salad. It just depends on the day, or what I have set for that week. I like healthy avocados, so for lunch, again, I have a hearty lunch. My mid-afternoon snack, I may have another banana, or I may have a banana, I may have an apple, or, some more mixed nuts that I didn't finish in the morning. And throughout all of this, I'm drinking nothing but water aside from my smoothie. And even my smoothie that I mentioned earlier for breakfast is water-based. I only use water. I don't add the almond milks anymore and a lot of these other sweetened beverages. I just drink more water. So here's the other thing too about water. I recommend that you drink water, let's say 4 to 6 ounces on the hour, every hour when you wake up from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. It just helps. I have this container that has markings for starting at, I want to say it's like 8 a.m. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. So it's 8 a.m. All the way to 9 p.m. So drinking at each marking, at each hour, you have a marking for you to drink water. So it's been helping me to make sure I maintain hydration. I go to the gym in the afternoon after work, Monday through Fridays. I spend about an hour and a half. Sometimes I'm only there for 45 minutes. It just depends on my routine for that day. I try to eat dinner by 8 o'clock, no later than 9 o'clock. And my dinner includes sauteed vegetables. I may do fish or like salmon or something like that. I may do chicken. I love steak. I may do steak once a week, and I'll include a salad sometimes, and I hit the hay. I go to bed by 10 o'clock or earlier sometimes, just depending on how I feel that day. So folks, the bottom line is, if you want to achieve different outcomes and different results, you got to do things different. If you want to see lasting results, you have to be patient. You have to create a system that works for you. I'm not saying that my system is the system. I'm not saying that my regimen is the ultimate system, but I started implementing things that work for me. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to develop a simple plan that you can stick to regardless. Give yourself time to see these things work. Yes, you may only have seen 3 pounds loss, but what happens if you can be consistent or remain consistent with your routine? Folks, come on, be consistent in your journey. Make small improvements, and those small improvements over time will lead to bigger and bigger results. So, folks, to help you out on my website, I created a free download. If you go to beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com, I have a recommendation for you to download this free resource. It helps you to shop when you're going out to get food. It's called the Fruit and Veggies Edition. I think you're going to like it. It's free to download. I promise you that is not going to be like a sales pitch after that. It's a free resource for you. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast. And a lot of you all, you've been sticking with me since day one. I really appreciate you guys, and tell somebody about this podcast. Tell somebody about the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle that they too can achieve. We're all in this together. We want to live long. We want to live strong, folks. But it's going to take focus. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take consistency. Consistency is a key to the breakthrough. Okay? I want you to break through and break through strong, folks. If I can do it, you can too. So, my friend, until next time, stay focused, keep moving, never go back, leap forward, bounce back because you can, my friend. And above all else, trust God. You got this. I believe in you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with Oscar Camejo. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As a reminder, this podcast is intended for motivational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional care by a physician or other healthcare professional or qualified fitness instructor. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or professional advice or services. If you're looking for help on your journey, seek a qualified medical practitioner. It's important that you utilize someone who is a trained, licensed healthcare professional who can help you on your journey toward good health.